G'day mate, it's BrickLover18 here, and today we're going to be reviewing set number 40651, the Australia Postcard. This is the newest LEGO postcard in the LEGO Creator line. It's got 191 pieces and is ages 7+. So this postcard here allows you to build the unique sights of the Australian outback with the impressive 3D model of the Australia Postcard. The postcard here does feature some of Australia's outback's most famous sights, including a shed, a windmill, a eucalyptus tree, desert flowers, and a cockatoo. Here we've got the Australia tile, which is really cool. I wish it was printed, however it is just a sticker. And then moving on up, of course, we've got the actual model of the Australian build. On the far right here, we do have a kangaroo crossing sign, which again I think would have been incredible if it was printed. It does have all the details of the outback. I like that they went with this dark flesh color of sand instead of just the regular tan or something like that. Over here, of course, we do have the windmill, which I think is a really cool design. It does actually spin around if you want to give it a little spin. We've of course got a shed there. So many different flowers and details like they mentioned at the first start of this video. Lots of greenery and also lots of like dead greenery because, you know, it is the outbacks, it's super hot. We've got the massive eucalyptus tree here, which is really large, really takes up a lot of the model. And then right at the top of the tree we do have the cockatoo, which is the famous Australian bird, obviously. At the back here we do have some clouds as well, which use these minifigure base plates, which I think are really cool. I think that was a good use of them, and I think it adds a lot of detail. And it looks like we've also got a plane flying over the outbacks, which is really cool. Probably some tourists going on to sightsee and see how everything is. I've been a huge fan of the LEGO Creator postcard line since they launched just a few months ago, and I think this one is a really great addition to it. I will say, however, that this postcard definitely took me a little bit less time to build than some of the other ones. It is a really cool one, but like you guys just saw from the 30-second review, there's not a ton of detail for it. Like, it's got cool things that you can look at and cool things you can see, but like obviously there's no play features, and there's only a few major things that really stand out. A lot of the rest of it's just pretty standard grass, gravel, detailing work that you're not really going to pay much attention to other than looking at the model from afar. Some of the other models that were released from LEGO in the LEGO Creator postcard line really included cityscapes as well as really famous landmarks, and this one is notably different from that. There is no famous landmark here. It's got a few famous traits, I would say, for sure, like the windmill, the eucalyptus tree, and the bird and stuff like that, but there's not one like famous landmark like the Sydney Opera House. I personally, and like many fans on the internet, were a little bit surprised that LEGO decided to go with the outbacks instead of the classic Sydney Opera House, just because so many of the other builds that they've included so far, like London, Paris, Beijing, all have very many key traits to their cities and to their landmarks and things like that, versus Australia's is pretty generic. Like, you know, it's the outbacks, but there's not like one thing that sets it aside, be like, oh, that's only found in Australia, versus like the Sydney Opera House. I think you would have instantly picked that up, versus this one, if there was not the Australia tile on it, LEGO fans might not know what this set is if they've never really seen the outbacks before. So I still really do like this postcard, and I think they did a great job, and I'm happy with the set and the build overall. I just thought it was a little bit interesting that they decided to go with the outbacks in this more outdoorsy theme versus going with a more recognizable landmark, like such as the Sydney Opera House and some of the other sites in Sydney. So just an interesting creative decision by LEGO. Still is a very good set, but I just thought it was cool because it didn't really align with some of the other postcards that LEGO's released so far. I also really wish LEGO would have included the Australian flag in this build, because all of the other sets do have their country's flag in it, except for this one so far. Alright you guys, thank you so much for checking out today's review of the LEGO Creator Australia Postcard. This set has 191 pieces, and of course it's set number 40651. Overall, I think it's a great addition to the LEGO Creator Postcard theme. Like I mentioned earlier, I think it's a little peculiar that LEGO decided to go with the outback versus like the iconic sites like the Sydney Opera House, but I'm still really happy with this model, and I think it adds a unique perspective. It's just very different compared to how LEGO's done some of their city postcards in the past. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and of course subscribe, and I'm looking forward to seeing you here in the next video.